All right.
We're on board. We're on board.
On board. Today's class is going to be on alignment. And we do a lot of repetitive motion in the same poses over and over in these classes. And that's to get better at finding that neutral alignment. And so when you're doing the same thing over and over again, of course, it can create injury if you're not paying attention to what your body's telling you. You're pushing yourself too hard. You continue to do the same thing over and over, even though it hurts. And finding a neutral alignment will give you almost a sensation of lightness in all the poses. And of course, the biggest tool to accomplish this is using your breath, taking deep breaths and bringing awareness to all the different parts of your body. And so this practice we have lined up is designed to help usher that in for all body types, because we all do have different body types, and the way in which each of us will drop into neutral alignment and find that weightless feeling is going to be different for everybody. And yeah, and the other flip side of that is not making assumptions. I went back to my little book we read during training called The 4 Agreements, and the third agreement is don't make assumptions. There's a paraphrased little bit from there that says our whole dream of hell is based on making assumptions and taking things personally, which I agree with. And not making assumptions in your practice is not assuming that you can't do something, or assuming that there's only one way to drop into a pose, or assuming that you have to stick something out when it's not working for you, or assuming that you'll never be able to get to a certain point in your practice. So we're all going to discard our assumptions and feel for that neutral alignment today.
All right.
Yeah. And we're going to start in child's pose, but we're going to get into child's pose in a little bit different way today. So come stand on your mat with your second and third toes facing toward the front edge of your mat, feet in a line, and stand up in your Tadasana pose. So your hands are pronated out, your quadriceps are picked up, part of the pelvis is scooped up, tailbone going toward heels. Bring your abs in. And so everything's in line here. You can bring your head back and forth till you feel that stacking above your spine. And this is that weightless feeling we're seeking to create in each pose. So to get into our child's pose today, from here, come on down to your knees, and then split your knees wide to the edges of your mat so that you still have your feet in that alignment. And then flip your toes over and start to crawl your hands forward. Just a little bit more careful way of getting that child's pose, and we can uncover maybe some of the inconsistencies or little, not cheats, but just kind of ways that we can make our hips uneven that would create an uneven experience in this pose. I know for myself, my left hip is so much stiffer than my right that if I'm not careful, I'll just lay over on my left hip so I don't have to stretch it. Anyways, extend your hands forward and start to deepen your breath, breathing into all 360 degrees of your rib cage. And go ahead and relax all the muscles on your face. Consciously relax them. Consciously take your tongue off the roof of your mouth. And you begin to notice the quality of your breath and where it's going in your body and how it's traveling around. On your next inhale, come up to your hands and knees. And then tuck your toes and press your hips high into a downward facing dog. Walk your feet back about 6 inches And then walk your hands forward, about 1 hand length. Press your hands down and forward, and moving from the shoulder, rotate them inward and upward like you're opening those 2 pickle jars under your hands. So to slide your shoulder blades down your back. And drawing your abs in, pick the front of your pelvis up and sink your weight down into your heels. Send your breath through your body in this down dog and make little micro movements. And see if you can find those points of that weightlessness, that alignment in this pose. Let your head hang heavy. Inhale and look forward between your hands and take small steps, holding yourself up with your abs all the way to your front of your mat, and then capture your opposite triceps to hang in ragdoll. Engage your quadriceps and stretch your hammies up to the ceiling to give your back the room to stretch completely out. Release your bind and heel toe your feet together. On an inhale, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time until you reach standing pose. And keep your arms at your sides for just a second here. Breathe into your chest and your back ribs and find your moment of that neutral alignment once more now that we've stretched out a little bit. Inhale, raise your arms overhead in extended mountain pose. Turn your pinkies in and let your head fall back. Inhale to raise your heart up and exhale to find a small back bend here. Nothing major, we haven't warmed up that much yet. Just find a little bit of sensation arcing back. Then inhale, come back up, align with your arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center, fold with soft knees. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, step back into your high plank. Firm up your quads once more and bring the front of your pelvis up. Turn your pickle jars so your elbow pits are facing forward and slide those shoulders down your back. There's a motion coming up the front of your body and then down the back of your body to lock you in firm and strong here in your high plank. Inhale, rock forward, and exhale, lower halfway down, pinning your elbows into your sides. Inhale to upward facing dog, dropping your shoulders down and back once more. And exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Now we'll flow our sun A's. And our goal with our sun A's today is to just get into a flow, matching our breath per movement. Don't worry so much about what your postures look like or almost anything else. Inhale, look forward between your hands. And exhale to step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, fold with soft knees. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step or jump back, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, look up between your hands, maybe even give that back bend. And exhale, softly fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step or jump back, high plank to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, hips high, down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, look up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step or jump back, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. One last time, here we go. Look forward, step or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, look up, find that tiny back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back, high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Take a minute here and reassemble that down dog. Always an option to come to your knees if you're working on your shoulders, or an option to come to your forearms if you want to open up the back of your legs. And it's become a challenge to go do both at the same time. Just offering that up. Inhale, look forward. Exhale to step or jump to your hands. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And from here, gather the front of your pelvis up and slide those shoulders down. And now sink back into your chair. Coming to chair a little bit different way today to get our alignment. This is one of those poses that can be pretty challenging to find the weightless component. It can often be a little bit of a burden to stay here. So use your breath, play around a little bit with putting your weight into your heels, on your hips in, all those cues that I give. Some of those cues may not land for you, even the ones that I give all the time, and that's just because you may be working on a different part of this chair than I am right now. Two more breaths. And fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, step or jump back, high plank to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, back heel spins down. Come on up to your warrior one. Pick both quads up so that your pelvis has the mobility to pick the front of it up, just like a bowl. And then exhale, sink down lower towards your right heel. Inhale, look up between your hands. And exhale, flow high to low. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, right heel spins down. Come on up on an inhale. And exhale, sink lower towards your left heel. Inhale, reach up, look up. And exhale, flow high to low. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Let's do that once through, one breath per movement. Try it out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump to your hands. Inhale to halfway, inhale to roll all the way up. And exhale to sink down into your chair. We'll take an inhale here. And then exhale, fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, step or jump back, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, come up into your warrior one. And exhale, melt down to your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come down, high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Let's flow that sequence once more to get that little different chair part in there. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump to your hands. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, sink into chair. Inhale to stay. And exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, flow down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Inhale up, warrior one. And exhale your hands to the mat, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to down dog. This time I'm going to throw another little variation in. So use your breath and pay attention. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump to your hands. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, sink into chair. Inhale to stay. And exhale to melt over your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, up into your warrior one. Exhale, open up into your warrior two. And stay. Flip your right palm. Inhale, reach up, go back, reverse your warrior. And exhale, cartwheel down, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to down dog. Left foot steps forward. Inhale up into your warrior one. Exhale, open up into your warrior two and stay. Flip your left palm, inhale, welcome back, reverse your warrior, and exhale, cartwheel down, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Let's do that new sequence, one breath per movement. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump to your hands. Inhale, roll all the way up. And exhale, sink down into your chair. Inhale to stay. And exhale to melt over your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, up to warrior one. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, cartwheel down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, up into warrior one. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior. And exhale, cartwheel down. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Do this. All right. Inhale, come forward, do a high plank. Scoop the front of your pelvis up, firm those quads, and drop your shoulders down your back. With all this great aligned posture, now rock onto the outside of your left foot and raise your right hand high. Squeeze your left oblique to bump your hips higher. Scoop the front of your pelvis up and recommit to getting those shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, raise up a little bit higher. And exhale, come into your high plank. Firm everything up again. Get that alignment, get your breath flowing. And then open up onto the other side, rolling on the edge of your right foot. Bump your hips up by squeezing your right oblique. Inhale, raise up. And exhale, high plank. Inhale here. And then exhale to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Ooh, some of my neighborhood smoking marijuana. You definitely smell it. All right. Inhale your right heel high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose and step through your hands, coming up into a crescent lunge. Bring your hands to heart center and twist open to your right side. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, open up into your warrior two. We're a little bit more warmed up in our warrior two than we usually are at this point. So flip your hands over and bring your elbows in. Now scoop the front of your pelvis up and bring those shoulder blades down. After you've done that setup, extend your hands back out. And flip your right palm. Inhale, go up and back. And exhale, come into your extended side angle. Once again, scooping that front of the pelvis up, driving down through both of your feet to provide that strong foundation. When we talk about foundation in yoga, foundation means hands, feet, and core. All the places that hold you firm in these poses. Inhale, come back up to your warrior two. And exhale, cartwheel down, high to low. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Lift your left heel high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. And step softly through, rising up into your crescent lunge. Bring your hands to heart center and twist on over to the left. Release, come back up to center. And with an exhale, open on up to your warrior two. And since the sides of our body can be remarkably different, let's do that little exercise again. So flip your hands over, bring those elbows in, front of the pelvis up, shoulder blades down the back, and then flip your hands over, extend them back out. That helps me get to that weightless point of warrior two when I'm struggling. Just a little trick. Flip your left palm over, inhale, reverse your warrior, and exhale, come down into extended side angle. So after you have your firm hands, feet, and core, sending your breath there, awareness in your foundation, and you create what's called tapas, or heat. And that's what the first part of class is all about. Once you have your heat generated, that internal fire, you can stick through a lot more difficult things like an extended side angle, or like holding a chair twist, or any other stupid stuff I make you do. Inhale, come back up to warrior two, and exhale, cartwheel down, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment and get your down dog back. This is a nice return when you have a moment and you figure out what kind of works for you in down dog. If you can have more of a resting posture, you can trade that in for, instead of child's pose, you need a break. Just a little bit more aggressive rest. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump to your hands. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, your hips low, hands high, come up into chair. Exhale to sit lower. Scoop the front of your pelvis up again and drop those shoulder blades down. You want about 80% of your weight in your heels, and you can help out with that by lifting and spreading your toes, firing up all those leg muscles. Or alternatively, whatever works for you to light up all the muscles on the outside of your shins, the outside of your buns, what have you. Bring your hands to heart center and twist to the right. Pull your left knee back in line with the right if it's step forward. Find a spot on the ceiling and fix your gaze. Just use another one of those pieces of power yoga. So we covered our breath, our foundation, heat, and gaze. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, twist to the left. And finally, the last component, the last pillar of this style of yoga is called vinyasa, or flow. We try to incorporate all of those elements into each class. Although some classes are heavier on others, and some than others, and some incorporate all five. We're going for a little bit of flow and breath today. And the tapas is coming from the effing weather. Inhale, come back up to center, and exhale, fold over your feet. Split them apart, and grab your big toes with your peace sign fingers. Engage your quads and stretch your hammies, so lift those hips up. And pull down with your elbows, keeping them wide, to drop your head low. Modification, of course, if this is rough on your back, is to bend your knees as much as you need to get a juicy stretch in your back, in your upper back, and in your hammies, and not just pulling your lumbar vertebrae apart. Release your toes, heel toe your feet together, and inhale back up in the chair. Our old friend. Bring your right arm under and lift your left leg up and over, coming into eagle pose. Press your left heel forward and soften your hip creases so you can bring your shoulders up in line with your hips. And finding that sense of alignment and weightlessness in eagle pose. Some days it's easier than others, for sure. And release, stand all the way up, and come back into your chair from the above approach. And then bring your left arm under, and your left leg up and over, coming into eagle pose on the left. Release, stand on up. And then from a standing pose, bring your right leg over and your right leg under and approach eagle from that direction. A few different ways to get into our old friend here. And inhale, lift up, and exhale to fold over your leg, nesting your eagle with a flat back. And inhale, come all the way up. And then release, stand up. Bring your left leg up and over your left thigh. Woo! And then bring your left arm under, coming into eagle on the left side. And let's take a little nesting variation here too. So inhale to get your spine straight, and exhale to nest, folding over your legs. Inhale to come back up, and then release. Stand all the way up, and exhale, forward, fold. Plant your hands firmly on your mat. Bring your knees to the back of your arms. Bring your chest forward and come on into a crow. Once again, tips to keep weight on your wrists are to lean forward, claw your fingers into your mat, and press your feet together to activate your abs. There's definitely a balance point to this pose where it gets a lot easier. And I've found for myself that it's going a lot farther forward than I thought I ever needed to. And since we're all about trying things today, discarding assumptions, give this a try. You're going to shoot your legs back and land in a low plank position. And yes, you'll probably fall on your tummy, and that's fine. So inhale, get your chest forward, and exhale, shoot back. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. And let's step forward to our hands again. We'll give that one more shot. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale, plant your hands. Come into one last crow. I can't promise that. Inhale to rock your chest forward. Get ready for it. At the bottom of your exhale, shoot back. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. That's one of those ones, just like jumping forward, it's more of a trick of your mind and less a trick of your strength. Because you've been doing all these push-ups all class. So it's really just almost completely in your head. You can go ahead and walk your hands back to your feet. Split them apart and take a gorilla pose. Sliding your hands underneath your feet and giving your wrists a little massage. And thank them for being so strong and so, compliant with all that jumping and crowing, all the stuff you do with your hands all day. Release your hands. Heel to your feet together. Then inhale, roll all the way up to standing. And here we're going to take our friend standing leg raise. So inhale your knee up into your chest. Take your hand to the outside of your knee or the outside of your foot. If you have the outside of your foot, just make sure you're not rounding your low back. That's not here for me today, so I'm going to go back to the knee. And then open up to the left and to the right. Scooping the front of your pelvis up and grounding down through your left heel to give you that lift and the alignment you need to feel the weightlessness in this pose. Even if you're using an assist, like putting your hand in the back of a chair, try that out and get your spinal alignment in tune. That's the name of the game today. And come to center. Kick your heel way out in front of you, and then release down. Let's take our standing leg raise on the left. Inhale your knee up into your chest, and finding a hold on the outside of your left knee or your left foot, open up to the sides. And then release, come to center. Kick your left leg all the way out in front of you, and then release, set it down. Inhale your arms high overhead, and exhale forward fold with soft knees. Inhale to halfway lift, pressing your tailbone and thigh bones back, and exhale, high plank to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Find that nice, comfortable down dog once more. Really getting into what is working for your body, creating that mental map of this repetition and through this series. By doing this repetitively, making that map, it'll be easier to find each time as you come back and back and back to this practice. Then walk your feet in about 6 inches to a foot, so we're in that little short down dog. And press down firmly through your left hand, sending your hips back. And reach for the outside of your left ankle with your right hand, turning to look up at the ceiling. And release your right hand down. Press down firmly through that hand, sending your hips back. And reach for your outside your right ankle with your left hand. And turn and look up at the ceiling. And then release your left hand down. Come back into that down dog you've been memorizing. See if you can find it pretty quickly. And then step forward with your right foot to meet your right hand. And inhale up into warrior one. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Flip your palms over, get those shoulders in there. Pour the pelvis up, shoulders down, and even them back out. Flip your palm, inhale, go up and back, straighten your right leg, and exhale, come down into triangle pose. Press both hips back, and press down into your right toe ball mound, so that you can scoop your pelvis up and look up at your left thumb. Press down firmly through both feet, rise all the way up to standing, and turn your toes in slightly. Inhale your arms high overhead, and exhale, come into your wide legged forward fold. Option to grab the outside of your ankles, your peace fingers, or take a bind with your arms over your head to get a little extra shoulder stretch. Actually, if we really want to play the alignment game, we can also try out a tripod headstand. So bring your hands down like you're going to go into crow, and then make your head the third point in the equilateral triangle. And you can stay here playing with the pressure of your hands and your head, or you can start to walk your feet in and use your abs to get your tailbone up over your spine and over your shoulders, and come all the way up. This is a position in which you really, truly feel that whole alignment thing. There's a weightlessness that's almost terrifying when you get aligned in an inversion. We can try for that later in the practice too with our shoulder stand. That's a way to do it where it's a little less nerve-wracking about, going upside down on your head and things if that scares you. There's a couple more breaths here in side face, wide legged bend, to either play with headstand or to stretch out. You're in a headstand, come on down. And then inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, turn your right toes to face the front of your mat. Step your left foot in slightly for a pyramid pose. Take one more halfway lift. Bring your low abs in to stick your tailbone out. And exhale, fold over your right leg. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to twist open, twisting triangle. We're just here for a moment. Look up with that right thumb. And then exhale, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward to meet your left hand. Inhale on up into warrior one. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Flip your hands over. Grab those shoulder blades, snatch them up close, and make sure your knee stays out to the side. You should be going over your foot, not collapse again. That's not doing much for you. Anyways, snatch those shoulder blades in, flip your hands back over. Then inhale, go up and back, straight into your front leg. And exhale, come forward, and then down into triangle pose. Turn and fold over your left leg, stepping your right in as much as you need to, so both your heels are on the ground. Inhale to halfway lift, bring the front of your pelvis up to stick your booty out, and then exhale, fold over your front leg. This is another one of those poses that's so different for me each time I do it. Sometimes it's a better stretch in my spine, and sometimes it's the best stretch ever for my hamstrings. And I went on a 4-mile hike in flip-flops yesterday, so it's a really good stretch on my hamstrings today. Inhale to halfway lift, pulling your chest forward. And exhale, open up into your revolve triangle. Just one big inhale here. And then exhale your hands to the mat. High to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. And I think we all know where we're going now, right? What's the other one we're doing more than down dog or just as much as down dog today? That's right. Inhale, bring your pelvis up and your shoulders down to ratchet yourself up into your high plank. Then come down to your forearms, lower to low plank. Recommit to that strong quadriceps, strong abs. Then inhale up to high plank. Rock forward, exhale to low plank, inhale back up to high plank, exhale down to low plank. I told you were strong enough. Inhale up to high plank, and then exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Place your left ear on the mat today. And then switch over to your right ear. Notice the sides of your neck and how they're different. Most of us have one side that's a little more mobile than the other. Just something to note. And bring your chin to center and come on up into your locust pose. Just like our little back bend and extended mountain pose. Well, this one's more of a mountain pose. Well, just like our back bend when we were standing up earlier, you're going to pull your pelvis up and pull your shoulder blades back. And start to bring your head up, bring your gaze up, and find that dropping back even on your belly here, using your strong back muscles. And then exhale to release. And bring your chin back to center. And let's come on up for our second locust pose. There's two components to this pose, pressing out and then lifting up. Just like in our bow pose that we haven't gotten to yet, but a little more free form. And this pose can look different every time you do it. If you want to be long, if you want to be bendy, whatever's working for you and your body today is a pose of choice. And exhale, release, bring the opposite ear to the mat. Kick your ankles up and tap to them from the outside with your hands. Wiggle your knees so they're right in line with your hips. Flex your toes back toward your shins and kick out and up to come up into your bow pose. Engage your quads and your hands to lift your legs higher. There'll be an active stretch on your quads, so they're still engaged, even though they're stretched on the front of your body here. That'll help lift you up so you can stretch your shoulders. And exhale, release. Opposite ear to the mat. Bring your chin to center. Capture your heels from the outside. And come up into your second bow. Engaging your leg muscles will also help you to prevent crunching your lower back in this pose. If you're crunching your lumbar vertebrae, ease off a little bit and go harder again when your abs are a little bit stronger. And exhale to release. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth, shaking out any ghosts that may have accumulated. And then press back up to a downward facing dog. Feels pretty easy now that you've done a bunch of back work, right? So release the whole back of your body's fired up and also relax. And then drop to your knees. We'll just take one brief camel here. So if you have your toes tucked or feet flat on the ground, whichever you choose, place your hands in those back pockets and start going up and back, pressing your hip points forward to counter that 7-pound weight that is your head, reaching for the wall behind you. Inhale up the front of your body and exhale to contract the back of your body. And then tuck your chin softly with an inhale, come up, and exhale to sink down on your heels. Opening your palms up in an act of receiving. And balance your head over your spine. I think it's always kind of cool to do the whole alignment thing after a back bend. You get all that rush of energy and release from counter stretching what we do all day with our shoulders. And come on your back for a bridge pose. Place your feet underneath your knees and press forward with your feet and your shins, scooping the front of your pelvis up to come up into a bridge. Even in these seated poses, we're going for that same alignment that we do when we're standing. It's like the gold standard to get back to feel as effortless as you do when you're right on your feet. And exhale to release. Let's head into our second bridge. Scoop the front of your pelvis up, that seals your back onto the ground, and then press out through your feet to come all the way up. And exhale to release. And now for a wheel. This is one of those poses where the whole weightlessness and ease thing might be a little longer journey, but it's worth it. So inhale, press all the way up, and exhale to hold in. Inhale to press up, and exhale to hold in, supporting your body with your buns and the whole back of you. One more inhale up, and exhale, release, come down. We got 3 more wheels to play with today. So inhale, come on up, and exhale, hold. Press out through your feet, hug your inner knees closer together, and then exhale to release. That one feels great today with all that, aforementioned flip-flop hiking, stretching out on the quadriceps. Inhale, come on up for your second to last wheel. And exhale, release, come down. And finally, let's set up for our one last wheel. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Inhale, come up. And exhale to slide those shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, pick the front of the pelvis up. Exhale, shoulder blades back. 3 more of those. And release, come all the way down. Supta Baddha Konasana with your feet together. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Tuck your chin softly to elongate your spine. Release your feet up and do a happy baby. Take a cheerful little rest here, pressing your low back and the back of your head down into the mat. You can also do this, a little bit of this while you're driving. When you come to a stoplight, press your head back against your headrest, and you'll feel that whole alignment thing come online, or at least identify where you've got kinks. And it's a big release to that strenuous, like, neck forward position we can find ourselves in. Release your feet up and stamp them up like you're going to walk on the ceiling, like you're little Lionel. And then keeping your head and neck on the ground, so we're just focusing on those low abs, drawing the front of our pelvis up first, of course. It's a theme today. Exhale, drop your right heel down, keeping both legs straight, pressing out through both heels. And then switch. Inhale up, exhale down. And keep switching, pressing out through your heels, keeping that low back sealed to the ground, and then take the pause out of it. Keep both of your legs moving at once. Increase the complexity. If you feel like you got this, that low back is staying on the ground, you're extending, you've got your quads engaged, then you can lift your head and shoulders up off the ground. If you start to lose that low ab engagement, just lower your head and neck back down. Be in choice about it, getting the intended effect of the exercise. We'll be here for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring your knees into your chest. Roll your low back out, give her the little massage she deserves. And then instead of coming right into half pigeon, try to change us up a little bit. After doing all that nice ab work, we're so aware of that. Come on up into your shoulder stand or your waterfall. Really pump your heels toward the ceiling and find that straight, strong alignment, even in this pose. You do that by using the same cues that we've been doing all class, or the version of them that's been working for you. Pelvis up, shoulders down your back. And then slowly, with control, bring your feet behind you for a plow pose. Your feet reach into the ground, press them in, and send your tailbone high. This is like a really crunched up down dog almost. And drop your knees by your ears for duck dance pose. And with control, roll all the way down so you're on your back. And then sit up, coming into half pigeon. And let's take half pigeon on the left first today. Changing all kinds of things up. Press firmly through your right foot so you can bring your left hip in line, squaring them toward the front of your mat, and then fold over your left shin. Press softly up with an inhale. Swing your right leg around and take half pigeon on the right. Press firmly to the top of your left hip So you can square up that right hip, pulling it back before folding over your right shin. Inhale, press softly up. Bring your legs out in front of you. Get a little smack on the ground. Move your gifts out from underneath your sit bones. Inhale your arms up high overhead before coming into a forward fold. Reach as far forward as you can with a flat back before letting your head release towards your knees. Inhale, roll all the way up. Bring your left foot into the inside of your right thigh for a seated single leg extension. Inhale up, and exhale, turn over your right leg and fold. Option also to reach for the outside of your right foot to get that nice big stretch along the left side. Inhale, roll all the way up, and switch sides, extending your left leg long. And bring your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up. We're going to take one last hip opener today. We're going to go try out a frog. It's been a while since we visited this gal. Bring your knees out wide on your mat with your legs coming out at right angles from your knees and your feet coming out at right angles from your shins. And start to fold over. I like to check as I'm coming down. I like to check if my belly button's still in the center of me to see if I'm kicking out into that stiff hip and cheating it out of the stretch. That's my little life hack. You may have your own for how you are disposed. Go ahead and come in, and if you're feeling like there's something happening in your legs, that is absolutely correct. Relax your face. Unclench those jaws. We're only here for a little bit longer. You gently pull yourself up a bit. Flop forward if you have the room to come out of this frog. And then come to a seat and lower yourself all the way down to your back. And we'll finish with a spinal twist. Let's jazz it up again. We'll do the left side first. Woo-hoo. Bring your knee into your armpit and roll it around. And cross it over the right side of your body and turn to look over your left shoulder. And lock your shoulders under yourself a little bit to give that long, straight spine. It'll give you a ton of benefit from these twists. Release from the center. Bring your right knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze, roll her around, wake that hip up. Then bring it over to the left side of your body, locking those shoulders under. You turn to look over your right hand. Releasing from the center. Bring your knees in for one last big, huge squeeze. And then exhale, release. Take up some space in your final Shavasana. Let all of your thoughts go, your breath go. We'll all come up together in just a minute. Wiggle those fingers and toes. Start to make movements. Hold your head back and forth and down. And long, big old stretch overhead. Feel how strong and aligned you are. And then roll over to your right or your left side. Put it in your hand and your head and your arm. And keeping your eyes softly closed, press up to your seat. We'll close with an Om. Inhaling for Om. Inhale your thumbs to your third eye center. The light in me acknowledges and bows to the light in each one of you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome.
You're welcome. Hope we're all
Thank you.
strong and aligned. You're welcome.